Do you mean to say that all the other saints also attained enlightenment in the method you prescribed now?
The same philosophy, the same science, the same thing is happening to all the saints. Everybody got enlightenment only through this way. The common thing to all of them is to renounce their mind, renounce their effort, renounce their seeking. You may know the life history of Ramana Maharishi. Once Ramana Maharishi, when he was a boy at the age of his 14th or 15th, he was at Madurai. One day he got the fear of death. As a young boy, he do not know what is death, but anyhow he got the fear of death. If anybody got the fear of death in the age of boyhood, what he will do naturally? Naturally he will try to free from the fear of death. He will try to escape from the fear. But Ramana Maharishi did a different kind of thing. He accepted death. He accepted the fear of death. He lay down on a floor and he was in a receptive state to receive the fear of death. But while he accepting the fear of death, that means he was not resisting the fear. He was not resisting the death. So in the same time, in the same way, he got liberation. So what is the working condition of his mind in that state? He is not agitating against anything. He is not seeking any escape from the actual situation. He accepts what is happening. In other words, he surrenders himself to the fear of death. And thereby, he himself got the same transformation what happened to Buddha also. The agitating mind does not operate. The receptive mind, the receptive portion of his mind gets into the operation. So that is the alchemy of his transformation. And thereby he himself got the liberation. He has not done any meditation for the same, because he do not know what meditation is, what enlightenment is. As a boy, as an ordinary boy, he met the fear of death with open hand, with empty hand, and he got the liberation. The same thing happened also to J. Krishnamurti, the modern saint. He was considered to be the world teacher. You might have known about the enlightenment of J. Krishnamurti. J. Krishnamurti was predicted that he was going to be the world teacher, and with the prediction, some special training was given to him for the preparation as the world teacher. Many meditation, many practices, many austerities was given to him as the preparation as the world teacher. He practiced all the meditational practices. He undergone all the austerities. He was leading a principled life designed for him. He sincerely attended. He sincerely done everything. He has got many kind of experiences, many kind of transcendental experiences, many kind of samadhi states. Even though he has not got the liberation, he had not got the enlightenment. Despite all of his practices, all of such austerities, he cannot attain the enlightenment. Even though he had undergone all the austerities, even though he had practiced every kind of meditations, even though he had got every kind of experiences, all kind of samadhi states, he could not attain liberation, he could not attain enlightenment. In that circumstances, his brother Nidya was seriously ill and was undergoing treatment. But at the same time, J. Krishnamurti had to go for a sea voyage. But he declined to go for the voyage since he had to attend his brother for his illness. At the same time, the persons around him got some special power to have contact with the deities. and they sought the help of the deities, whether anything could happen to Nidya if J. Krishnamurti gone for the sea voyage. They asked for the prediction, and the deities replied that nothing would happen to Nidya and J. Krishnamurti can take the sea voyage. Believing the words of the deities, J. Krishnamurti go for the sea voyage along with the other people. But when he was in the middle of the sea, he got a telegram reading that Nidya was seriously ill. And J. Krishnamurti unable to decide whether to return or to go along with the voyage. But in that circumstances, the another telegram also came with the death message of Nidya. J. Krishnamurti was terribly shocked with the death news of Nidya. The death of Nidya paralyzed J. Krishnamurti, and he began to live in a closed room for certain period without any contact with other people. And he has no other way except accepting the death of Nidya. He was living face to face with the sorrow of the death of Nidya. He has to accept the sorrow. He felt the total world has given him up with the sorrow, and he cannot move here and now, here and there as a liberated person. He became paralyzed with the sorrow of the death because he has no other way except accepting the fear, accepting the sorrow. So in that circumstances, he also got the same liberation because he has nothing to do with the sorrow. His total mind become incapable of doing anything. So in the desperate condition of his functioning of mind, the same alchemy happens also to J. Krishnamurti. He got liberation. The receptive part of his mind becomes vibrate. So that is the basic truth, that is the basic structure of every enlightened persons. Each one had the same operation of expression. Each one has the same function of mind. The mind which Buddha has found out is the operative force, is the different dimension of the mind which every enlightened persons are having. But if he is able to identify the different dimension of his mind, he clearly understood that he is liberated, that he is enlightened. So what is the operation, what is the function of liberation, what is the function of enlightenment? What is the nature, structure, science of enlightenment? Whenever mind seeks something, the mind is functioning with a demand. The mind functions with a motive. The mind functions with a expectation to attain something. So if our mind wants to attain something, if our mind wants to get something, even the liberation, even the enlightenment, whatever it may be, if it wants something, the agitative mind, the mind with motive alone is functioning. But when the mind is no longer demanding, when the mind is no longer seeking, the other portion of our mind, the other dimension of our mind comes into function. So that is the basic secret of enlightenment. That is the basic structure of enlightenment. That every enlightenment masters got.